Okay, so let's talk about amputations.
Right. You can see the bullet has only gone halfway through the bone. The bone is beginning to splinter and shatter, and as the bullet passes all the way through, almost a third of the bone is gone. That's not the big problem. The big problem is a mass of mangled tissue that's left behind. That's going to become inflamed within a couple of hours. If I don't do something to save the man's life, he could die of that inflammation within 2 hours, within 2 days. And there's only one thing I can do. Since I had no antibiotics at all, penicillin didn't come along until for 80 years, my only life-saving procedure was to cut it off. So I had to tell the soldier, I think you're going to have that arm off. If he agrees, then I amputate. If he doesn't agree, I can't touch him. It's assault if I do so. Most of them realize that they would be better off, and the guy would say, okay, I'm better off being, being disfigured than being dead. So doc, take it off. And at that point, that's when we would begin the surgery. The surgery, of course, if you wanted to take a film of any of that way, that's over here. I can explain that if you'd like. It's up to you.
What is it?
Well, we'll go over here, and from this to this entire kit, that fits together. That whole thing is your capital amputation kit. It's named after a capital saw, which is this great big one here. Goodness. Named after your capital saw. Capital saws came in a variety of configurations. That's also a capital saw.
Okay.
Most guys have seen these things as coping saws. Well, it still works as a surgical instrument. The first question is, what about pain? Because it's going to hurt a lot if I don't do something for the pain. And people have turned the term bite the bullet. That's the bullet. That's your mini ball.
Okay,
that's that big monster. It's almost an ounce of soft lead, your mini ball, and they want to put that in your mouth. You're badly injured already. You're not going to be total control of yourself. I'm going to put this in your mouth, and then I'm going to take my gas big knives and start cutting on you. You're going to go, and you'll inhale the darn thing, and that's the end of you. Not a piece of leather, not a piece of wood in the mouth, nothing. Because we had ether. This is an ether cone. Ether came out first, that's why it's called that. We also had chloroform, both of which can render you sensitive to the pain. So this would be administered. I have maybe 15 to 20 minutes at max to get that amputation done. The average length of an amputation was 12 minutes. There is a record of a man as big as me, I'll stand up to him short ago, a guy as big as me having a leg off at the hip in only 3 minutes. I can't imagine what the rush was, but the painful part, the sawing and the cutting, took 3 minutes. Somebody's trying to prove something, I'm sure, but because you can't. I've worked in the operating room. You can't possibly get everything sewn up that needs to be sewn up and put back together in 3 minutes. But they proved something, which was that the thing could be taken off in 3 minutes. 12 again was the average, and that's really not too bad today. An average amputation today takes about 20 minutes. So a lot more finesse involved today than there was then.
Mm-hmm.
After the operation, the man's going to be very, very, very uncomfortable. What have I got for that? I got morphine. There's a bottle with morphine in it. I actually don't have any morphine in there. It would be a green liquid. Opium, same thing. It would be a pale white liquid. They're very, very effective, very efficient. Perfect? No, they're not. But it's better than nothing for sure.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So we got that, and that would be it. I gave it to him. This is about 1.5 ounces of liquid morphine. That's good for about 3 hours. When he starts asking for more, I give it to him. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a moralist. I have any idea about addiction or anything like that. I gave him what I want. I'm a surgeon. My job is to try to keep him comfortable and effective as much as possible. So I'll give it to him when he asks.
Mm-hmm.
Some gentlemen actually went through the entire Civil War. Every day they had to have a dose of this stuff. They, of course, became addicted. Nobody noticed that. They paid no attention to it. Old soldier disease is what they called it. They may go after the war years afterwards and need a daily dose of opium to get through. They were paid $8 a month. That was their pension. That was enough to be able to buy their opium on a daily basis. And if they did, okay, that's fine. So that was it. Kind of grotesque. For every 5 men who had to have an amputation, 3 lived.
Okay, and these are the original tools here.
These are the original tools. These two, this autopsy kit, and this here. The rest of them are all exact reproductions.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.